Hey,
Hold on.
Okay.
No, you're good. You're good.
Hey, Facebook friends and family. This is Corinna Daninger with EXP coming to you live from 3119 Indian River Drive. Today, shout out to all the realtors. We're having a huge broker open with delicious desserts and champagne until 3:30. So definitely come on over and check this place out. But I'm not here right now to promote that. I'm here to promote my good friend and photographer, Rich Gallagher. Hey Rich, thanks for joining us.
Oh, well, thank you for having me, Corinna. This is an amazing opportunity to promote myself and the little business I'm establishing here.
Yeah, that's great. I went to Rich because before COVID, I was going around interviewing a lot of local businesses, and it was a great way to promote them and get the message out since we have such a big following on Facebook and other social media platforms. Blah. Champagne has not started, I promise. And so now that we're all back to doing broker opens and getting back together with our friends and families, I decided it was time to start promoting local businesses each week. So our first one is going to be RP Photography. So let's start there, Rich. What is RP Photography? What does that stand for?
It's my initials. It's RPG, Richard Patrick Gallagher. If you're an older military person, you may remember those initials meaning RP, rocket propelled grenade. But it was quite the joke when I was in the Army and was initially in all my gear with the RPG. They all thought I was Rambo or something. I'm like, nope, just my initials.
Well, thank you for your service. We really appreciate it. And you told me you were in the Army?
Army National Guard for 8 years, yeah.
And where did you serve?
I was stationed at the Akron-Canton Airport in Ohio, but we deployed to Iraq and Afghanistan. And
Wow.
we also deployed to 3 hurricanes. Katrina, Sandy was the very last one I went to, and there was another one in there, but it escapes my mind now.
That's probably good.
Yeah, hopefully this one escapes.
That's right. So thank you for that, Rich. So I have been following, Rich and I have been friends for a long time now, and I started noticing his photos he started posting, and they were amazing. And it's really nice to see happy, wonderful local photos of the Space Coast. Space Coast is absolutely beautiful, and I think a lot of times the locals are so busy working, we forget to take a moment and literally smell the roses or check out the turtles. And Rich has captured some of the most amazing wildlife photography I've ever seen, and it's right here in our backyard. So Rich, how did you get into photography, since we're on that topic?
Well, just let me, because that comment just brings so much of my grandparents to life. My grandparents were old RVers back in the day, loved to travel the country, and they finally settled in Melbourne Beach, and they just wanted to share it with the whole family. So when they would go back home to Ohio, they made their lot available for the family to come down and stay, so that they could enjoy the beach and all the other things around in the area without having to pour out money
Nice.
onto a hotel. So that love of Florida, that love of sun, sand, and surf, was kind of ingrained in me very early, and I just loved kind of capturing it. But I was always a photographer, but never thought of it as a career. I was always kind of that kid that would build models and then take pictures of them in dogfighting modes or whatever.
How funny.
And then later on in scouting, I was that guy that was documenting our campouts and the group photos and the patrol photos. And then, when kids came, my favorite subject was my kids. And later on, I joined the Army, deployed, and got to see much of the world, and loved documenting and recording that for my own self, but also that Facebook and Skype was coming online during that time, and it was fun to now show people in live time what we were going through, instead of writing a letter or making a sketch and waiting 6 months sometimes for it to come in the old snail mail. Now everything was happening in live time on Facebook and Skype. So.
How fortunate to be able to take your passion and put it into a business, but not only a business, but something that we all get to benefit from. I too am also a customer, right? I purchased some prints to use with my marketing of some of the amazing local Florida lifestyle and animals and wildlife.
And with the Space Coast just coming alive right now with so many rocket companies and the frequency of rocket launches, everybody kind of wants that space theme or space piece in their house or office somewhere. And that's really when I started getting noticed, and really what convinced me that, maybe I'm onto something. Maybe this doesn't just have to be a hobby. When friends and family were asking me, hey, do you have a website? Hey, are you selling those? Hey, can I get a copy of that? And then it was like, well, that'd be great if this could be a passive, income for me someday.
So tell me, what are we sitting around today?
So one of my favorite prize kind of trophy images is this one up here. It's a Falcon 9 rocket passing in front of the moon. To coordinate those two moving objects, a rocket moving at near the speed of sound, and then the moving rising moon, and try to find that point where they intersected and try to capture it clear enough was really a feat. I used a multitude of great apps now that help you track the position of rockets and the sun and the moon. And so that was a huge trophy moment for me.
I love that one, but I also really love this one.
This,
that's so beautiful.
When I first got into Space Coast photography, I wanted to have one of those streak shots, they call it. It's a long exposure. It's about 4 minutes, and the outline here traces the movement of the rocket over 4 minutes, and then we have the exploration tower in the foreground, reflected in that retention pond, and then the Port Canaveral is in the background.
Absolutely gorgeous. So tell us a little bit about the wildlife that we have here too. And
well, nothing screams Florida more than a scenic, sunrise picture with the sea oats in the foreground.
Oh yes.
Until I nearly exhausted myself, I enjoyed going to the beach every morning and taking sunrise pictures. To me, they were never the same old picture. They were always different. I always enjoyed and loved capturing just the nuances of whether there was clouds, no clouds, if it was orange or yellow, the pinks and reds that would come up, the thunderstorms on the horizon.
Oh yeah. So you're not just a Space Coast photographer though. You have something big coming up, right? And you've done a couple of these already that I've tracked you on.
No, I am not just a Space Coast photographer. I tell everybody I shoot space and everything in it. So I'm on my way on a photo safari, I call it. I'm going to make a great big loop around the country, basically tracking and staying on the trail of the fall colors as they change. And I'm going to make this big loop around the country.
Oh, so excited. I saw your map. Will you upload that to this Facebook post so people can, and put whatever your Facebook link is going to be?
Absolutely.
And maybe we put Rich's website out there. Rich is a spectacular, very, very thoughtful photographer. He really gets what you want in that frame just naturally. I think he's just had this born gift that he has. And so if you're a realtor, come to my broker open and you can throw your business card in and have a potential chance to win a print. And you also want to see this gorgeous house on the river. And if you're not, definitely follow along and definitely follow Rich's progress, and you'll also have a chance to see some of his most amazing photos, both here locally and afar. I'd like to thank you very much, Rich, for coming out today.
Thank you,
So it's great to see you.
I appreciate this opportunity.
You want to just show off some of these big lenses you got here as we sign off?
When people ask me, how do you make that sun look so big? It takes a large telephoto lens, and then it compresses the image so that things far away look like they're super close up.
Is that why I can't do it on my cell phone, even with 5 cameras from Samsung?
But the cell phones are getting very hard to beat. Where the professional photographer really comes into play now is if you want to have that enlarged, printed on something.
Yeah.
And then if you're for those wide angle landscapes, you need a good 20 millimeter, 30 millimeter lens. But yeah, definitely visit www.rpgphotography.art, and you can also view me on Facebook at myimages.rpgphotography.
Thank you, Rich. Have a great day,
Corinna.
everybody. We'll
Appreciate
see you
this.
soon.